For nearly 12 weeks now, cameras trained on Gaza's skyline. And yesterday was one of the bloodiest 24 hours inside the Strip since the war began. An average 8 people were killed every hour. 2023 starts to fade. The intensity of the fighting does not. And this is what that high-intensity fighting looks like on the ground. This was central Gaza, several refugee camps targeted there today. The IDF hope that in time this level of combat will taper off as Hamas's military capability is degraded. But after that, months, if not more, of the Israelis securing the Gaza Strip. Political and military leaders in Israel are preparing people, in other words, for a long war, stretching well into 2024.
This war has necessary and not easily achievable goals. It takes place in complex territory. The war will go on for many months, and we will employ different methods to maintain our achievements. There are no magic solutions. There are no shortcuts to dismantling a terrorist organization, only determined and persistent fighting, and we are very, very determined.
So, 3 months into the war, who's winning? The IDF believes it's killed around 7,000 Hamas operatives. Thousands more are wounded or captured. That could mean that by some estimates, around half of Hamas's fighters in Gaza are now out of the picture, including a large number of senior field commanders. Crucially though, the 3 Hamas leaders most wanted by Israel are still alive. The Palestinian Red Crescent describes this facility in the Jabalia refugee camp as the last place people can get treatment in northern Gaza. According to Gaza's health ministry, over 21,000 people have been killed inside the Strip. The IDF says around 7,000 Hamas fighters have been eliminated, remember. That would mean around 2 civilians dying for every 1 Hamas operative. Today, Mahmoud Abbas, the Palestinian president, described what's happening in Gaza as, quote, beyond a war of annihilation. Benjamin Netanyahu laid out the war's goals in simple terms in an opinion article in the Wall Street Journal yesterday. Hamas, he said, must be destroyed. Gaza must be demilitarized. But then he went on to say this, and Palestinian society must be de-radicalized. The last point speaks to a broader war aim and extends beyond Gaza. The funeral today of 6 young men in Tulkarm, the West Bank. They were killed in a drone strike during what the IDF describes as a counter-terrorism operation. If de-radicalization is a genuine war aim, the looks in these young men's eyes speaks to a battle lost.
Paraic O'Brien reporting. Well, earlier I spoke to the General Secretary of the Palestinian National Initiative political party, Mustafa Barghouti, in Ramallah. I asked him if he echoed President Abbas's argument that for the Palestinian people this is a catastrophe greater than the Nakba of 1948.
Absolutely. I think what's happening in Gaza is totally unacceptable in every standard. We're talking about a combination of 3 war crimes committed by Israel, including genocide, including collective punishment, and including the act of ethnic cleansing. So far, if we count the people under the rubble, who nobody can get to, we're talking about no less than 28,000 Palestinians killed, mostly civilians, of whom 11,500 are children and more than 7,000 women. And additionally, there are 54,000 people injured. If we count them together, this is almost 2.6% of the whole population of Gaza. Had this happened in the United States of America, you would be talking about 8.2 million people killed in less than 10 weeks.
I mean, obviously,
that is unacceptable.
Obviously, the Israelis say this is in response to the atrocities committed by Hamas on October the 7th. But given the situation in Gaza at the moment, what do you make of the Israeli Chief of Staff saying there will be no let-up in this war, that it could go on for months? I mean, what, in your view, would Gaza look like if this does go on for months?
I think that statement reveals the real intention of the Israeli government, which Netanyahu didn't hide. which is that they want to continue this war till they are able to ethnically cleanse every Palestinian in Gaza out of Gaza into the desert of Sinai.
The Israelis have always maintained this is about exterminating, destroying Hamas. They've always maintained that from the very beginning.
That's their propaganda, but the reality is that they want to exterminate the whole Palestinian population in Gaza. And they're not only attacking Gaza, they're attacking us also in the West Bank. We've lost more than 300 people since the 7th of October in the West Bank. Hamas is not governing the West Bank, but they continue to attack Palestinians here as well.
Well, Benjamin Netanyahu has said that it is very important for the safety and security of Israel that Hamas is destroyed. He is talking about trying to de-radicalize Palestinians in Gaza and in the West Bank. What does that look like to you?
I think he should start de-radicalizing his own government, including the fascists like Smotrich and Ben Gvir, who say that all Palestinians must either leave or accept a life of subjugation to Israelis or die. The problem here is that we are dealing with a true fascist government. And this is not, I repeat, this is not an attack on Hamas only. It's an attack on all Palestinian people. These 11,500 children did not do anything. They're not militants, but they are killing them.
I mean, you are well aware, of course, of the Israeli answer to that too, that Hamas, they say, use civilians as human shields. But the difficulty for the Palestinians, truthfully, is that politically they are divided. What can they do to bring about the end of the war? Can they press on Hamas the need to perhaps give up the hostages?
First of all, the Israelis say that even if the Israeli prisoners are released, they will not stop the war. They will continue. And but that's not the issue. All these prisoners can be released tomorrow if Israel accepts to release our prisoners, who are no less than 8,000 now in the West Bank, and more than 2,000 held in concentration camps.
What ends the stalemate here, though? What ends the stalemate when so many Palestinians are dying?
Ceasefire immediately. That should be the slogan of everybody. Ceasefire immediately, and then everything can be discussed. But the continuation of this war means the total extermination of so many Palestinians.
Mustafa Barghouti, have to leave it there. Thank you very much for talking to us.
Thank you.